Hi, so been quite a while since we've done one of these, but life has been all over the place, stuff has been happening, maybe a bit more on that later, but in this video we're going to do a brief 3-card tarot reading, and there's not too many cards in a 3-card tarot reading, only 3, but because of that it's kind of much less complicated trying to work out what the actual reading means, what it means to you. So instead of a pick a card, we're going to do 3 cards, and that is coming up very shortly. But first, let's just do that driving thing, because it's been too long since that as well. Do you ever get tired of those people who just come up to you and they've kind of watched what you're doing, or they think they've watched what you're doing? They haven't seen the half of it usually, but they will want to tell you where you're going wrong, what you should be doing, what they think you should be doing, and it becomes quite niggling, it becomes quite annoying. I get really fed up with people like that, because I do like to do things at my own pace, and I spend a lot of time on spiritual practices, and I do try to follow my heart, follow the spiritual truth in whatever's going, really. And I suppose the most annoying thing about those people who just come on, and I guess they're speaking their truth really, but what they're also doing is speaking the truth of their ideas about what you should be doing, and I do get so annoyed with those people, I really do. Anyway, today we're going to do a 3-card reading, and it starts off, we're using the Muse tarot by the way, it starts off with card number 1, which is the Queen of Voices. She is in fact the Queen of Swords. That's what she's all about, really. So the swords, all those thoughts that go on in our minds all the time. And the most annoying thing about these people that will come up and kind of tell us what they think we should be doing is that very often, in a way, they're heaven sent, because they're actually picking up on some kind of energetic imbalance going on. They don't usually know that, by the way, but that's actually what's happening. We're all moved by spirit, whether we know it or not. And the ideas they try and put to us are sometimes, well, they're usually valid in one way or another, actually. But they're sometimes actually true, you know. They're sometimes at least worth thinking about and worth kind of digesting and having as part of your thought process about going forward. And the Queen of Voices is very, very much like that. She's actually about speaking your truth. She really is, and that's an important aspect of this card, certainly. But she's quite a dark character, isn't she? In fact, this is quite a dark card. And some of the darkness is just because, in a way, we're in the dark a lot of the time about where we're going in life. We like to be sure about where we're going. We like to actually feel that we've got our finger on the button, as it were, in terms of where we're going, how we're going to go forward. And we all want to go forward. We all want to make progress in this life. But it's just not an easy thing to do, because so much of the spiritual inspiration behind that comes in our dream life, for one thing, and just in kind of subconscious things that we pick up and that we're working on. And so when the Queen of Voices, the Queen of Swords, makes her presence felt, it's time to not just speak your truth, but kind of listen to the truth of what's actually going on. And as always, with the Muse Tarot, I'm going to read this little couplet that they put at the end of every description of every card. And this is the one for the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Voices. There is magic in truth. There is truth in my veins. Where my blood speaks in sooth, my mind has no reins. Sooth, there is an old word, but you know what I mean. When you're actually kind of just, you know, shooting the you know what and just kind of talking generally and thinking generally, there's a lot of truth in there waiting to come out. That is the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Voices, if you will. Card number 2. And this is the 7 of Inspiration, or the 7 of Wands. And we've had this card before. I remember it well. I picked this card lots of times because I'm always doing readings. If you want a private reading, by the way, my email address is down in the description below this video, 35and83@gmail.com. Check it out in the description. Drop me an email and we will fix up a private reading. But 7 of Inspiration, 7 of Wands, and the Wands are all about getting things done. And one very important meaning of this card, which kind of complements the last card in a lot of very positive ways, is that it's about defending your position, you know. And that doesn't just mean defending your position out there in the world. It's actually, you know, incorporating your own truth into your decisions about where to go forward. And this is where we leave behind the naysayers and the annoying people who come in trying to tell us what to do. And it's quite important to do that, you know. It's quite important to take notice of the thoughts you've been having, maybe nothing to do with the situation in hand, maybe nothing to do, so you think anyway, with your spiritual journey forward. But those thoughts are all about who you are, where you are actually now. And it's so important to be aware of where you are now. Because if you're going on a journey, you've got to start from somewhere. And that's the important thing. So, you know, there's a feeling of being attacked, particularly around the Queen of Voices there. But at the same time, like I was saying, it's that feeling of being attacked that actually prompts us to do something, makes us want to go forward. So don't forget who you are, don't forget where you are now before you start thinking about who you're going to become, where you're actually going. Because all you're going to really become in the most successful spiritual pursuits, all you're going to become is more like yourself, more like your true self. And this is so important. There's that saying, do what you will shall be the whole of the law. And that doesn't just mean do anything you want. You know, when you actually explore that, it's the divine will, I suppose, as much as anything. And that is the divine person within yourself. It's your higher self in so many ways. It's not just what you want, it's where you're going, where your soul is going on its soul journey, coming from all the lives you've lived in the past, going on to all the lives you're going to live in the future. So the couplet is, defend, I am, here I am, strong and I have made it. Take you can't, and break I shan't, no closing in will shade it. the Seven of Inspiration. Okay, and this is what the whole reading hinges on, really, because it's a 3-card reading. It's the middle card. This is kind of what it's all about. So we had the Queen of Voices for the before. Let's see what we've got for the last card. Card number 3. Let's see what we've got for the after. And this is the Queen of Materials. The Queen of Pentacles, in other words. The Muse Tarot has things kind of in their own separate little boxes of meaning. But we are drawn to these things for a reason. We are all drawn to it. I was drawn to buy this deck, and you've been drawn to watch this video. So Queen of Materials, the Queen of Pentacles, in other words. And she's a very nurturing character, is the Queen of Pentacles. She's a big help on your journey forward, actually. And that's where she really fits in with this reading. This is where it all kind of falls in with each other and starts to make sense. She showers us with abundance, really, and there is definitely the prospect of some money coming in when we get the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Materials, so that has to be good news. But she's also about the resources, the abundance we already have, and it's worth taking some time to appreciate that. We're actually linking into the first card because this is all about where we're coming from. Excuse me, this is all about where we're coming from. This is the journey from the South Node to the North Node in terms of astrology. It's where we came from, where we're going to, and where we come from is so important. It's soul family, it's nurturing ourselves, it's the friends we meet along the way. It's also the lessons that we sometimes rather sadly learn from the people that we lose along the way as well. That's an absolute fact. But the Queen of Materials is all about forward motion as much as anything, because the whole point of all that nurture, all that wonderful kind of protection and all the abundance we already have is that is what gives us the springboard to really move forward and make things happen. Let's read the couplet. It's 2 couplets, actually. It's quite a long one, this. Self-made and self-believed, she stands abreast her self-achieved. An image of projected self, of manifested dreams and wealth, a deep investment of her caring, and multitudes of joyful sharing, compassion hers a special kind of earthly wisdom, set of mind. So, there we have a very kind of productive sounding 3-card reading. This is really showing us that we're all going forward one way or another. Not everyone in the world is. This is kind of just if you were drawn to this reading, if the universe got you to watch me today, or tonight, whenever you're watching this. Maybe you're watching in the future, who knows? But this reading comes to you right now. Excuse me, because this is the way forward. Well, thanks so much for watching, friends. Quite a quick one today. I will be back a lot sooner than the last video, which I think was nearly 3 weeks ago now. Oh dear, it's just time to get in the garden and make things happen, that kind of thing. But thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again in a future video. Love and light, blessings and peace.